presented locally by IT&E.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Cars Plus kick off our holidays by supporting the Make-A-Wish Jingle Rock Virtual Run. Visit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Guam and CNMI Facebook page for details. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Starting now on Prime Time. Last week, the governor signed an executive order allowing certain businesses to operate at no more than 50% capacity. Plus, we'll give you a recap of the 3-day vaccination clinic operations and just how many of our island's frontliners were vaccinated. And local bar owners are hoping for a Christmas miracle, and that is to open and serve.
Cockfighting, good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed a new executive order that went into effect Sunday morning. Several businesses were allowed to increase their capacity from 25 to 50%. Out-of-loop Communications Director Crystal Paco San Agustin.
Again, these were all businesses that were already open. These only affected businesses that were already open. So I cannot emphasize that enough. No new businesses were allowed to open. It's just these ones have now been are able to increase their occupancy. And again, it's because the people of Guam have remained vigilant. They've done their part with the CAR score, and now we really switched to maintenance. That messaging on maintenance of the CAR score, we want to stay 2.5 and below.
Island residents are still urged to continue to practice social distancing, wash their hands, and wear a mask. Additional easing of restrictions could occur in the new year. And spirits are at an all-time low for local bar owners this Christmas. If they could have one wish, it's to open and serve. However, they tell KUAM that at this rate, it's going to take a miracle. There's been peaceful protest.
We need to work. We're asking for our right to work. We've been closed for 273 days. It's outrageous. We believe it's discriminatory.
There's been pleas to the governor.
We need our leaders to come down here. We need our leaders to include us.
There's been a class action lawsuit filed against the government in district court.
Justice needs to be taken here, and it really is our last hope.
There's been lifts and restrictions by Gov Guam, but still no hope for local bar owners.
What about us?
This is the question business owner of Live House and Shady Lady, Tom Pinehoff, has been asking since the start of the pandemic. Pinehoff has lived on Guam for 7 years. After the first year of calling the island home, he decided to make it a long-term investment.
Which was a decision because of the love for the island and the people that we like and work with.
After being deemed a non-essential, Pinehoff and all bar owners' doors remain closed since March under the government of Guam's executive orders. Recently, due to low infection rates, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero eased restrictions. However, bars did not make the cut. Pinehoff says he feels forced by the government of Guam to say goodbye to his home.
The options are on the table. Possibly moving out of Guam is for me.
Also sharing the feeling of being victimized by the government, Jeff Pleadwell, owner of Jeff's Pirate Cove in Ipan, has been open for 41 years, yet he never had to close his doors. Restaurant owners were able to stay open curbside during the lockdown orders, and now may operate with outdoor seating at 50% capacity. Although just like all businesses, Jeff's Pirate Cove took a financial hit. He says business dropped down 19% and he lost 2/3 of his employees.
I have been broke many different times. I've been through many situations here on Guam. I have learned that the government is the biggest enemy of the business people, and I protect myself. I protect myself from the dirty water, from the dirty power, and from the dirty politics.
Jeff says he will never close his cove and will never go down to the government.
People need to get up and they need to talk and they need to complain. Guam is such a sedate community. Me, Regina, Tom, the people here, we care. And people back us up. They tell us outside. But most people are afraid to come out and talk. That is wrong, I'm from Massachusetts, Quincy, Mass. You fight for your rights. You don't ever go down to the government.
Speaking out for bar owners is member of the Dolls Band, Rachel Esteves.
I didn't think it was going to go on this long, and the tables were turned where I was sitting kind of comfortable, and right now they're struggling. You have to think about the fact that Like, these are people suffering too. These bar owners, they're not getting PUA.
Estevez says the bar scene and music scene are tied together. And if bar owners close down for good, then she fears this means the end to another industry.
A lot of these bar owners also, they're an important part of the music industry. They're an important part of the culture. I wouldn't have become the musician I was today if it wasn't for a bar owner like Regina, who's helped me out so much. Or even Tom, when he first moved to Guam and he bought Livehouse, he believed in us. They believe in us musicians.
And while bar owners believed there would be suitable local assistance, they say GITA and rent relief has been mediocre and minor. Peinhoff tells KUAM the commercial rent for both his bars is roughly $10,000 monthly, including power. With savings dwindling down and tireless pleas for help, he shares this final message to Governor Lou Leon Guerrero.
It's very sad to see that after 10 months of pandemic, you haven't made your way down to Tumon yet. You haven't reached out to any of us small business people. I'm very disappointed. We were here for you when it's about election time, and we've been totally left alone, and we won't forget.
There's been no word on when bars will be allowed to operate in the foreseeable future. Public Health resumed community mass testing today. Tyler Mazzani has more on that, as well as an update on the 3-day vaccination clinics conducted last week.
Public Health resumed mass community testing today at 2 sites, the Micronesia Mall parking lot and the old Carnival grounds in Tizen. Both sites offered up to 300 tests per site at no cost. This follows the 3-day vaccination clinics that were conducted at Ukadu High School, GRMC, and GMH. According to Public Health spokesperson Janella Carrera, a total of 1,934 people were vaccinated. However, they will deliberate holding a call-out for another round of vaccinations for Phase 1A.
If you weren't able to come out during the 3-day vaccination clinic for Phase 1A personnel, healthcare personnel, then we'll have another vaccination clinic. You can come on out because when we did our initial survey, we did identify that for the Phase 1A category, there may be about 2,600 people that fall under that group. Everything so far were pretty normal reactions, just mild injection site pain, maybe some who reported some mild headaches, but nothing like the 3 that were reported.
Over the weekend, Guam received its second shipment of the Pfizer vaccine. A shipment of 2 boxes containing a total of 7,800 doses arrived Saturday. While both packages were being inspected and recharged with dry ice, it was discovered that the GPS-enabled thermal sensor in one package did not have the proper green color to signal that the package was in acceptable condition. Although the green light on the GPS-enabled thermal sensor indicates the package maintains sufficient temperatures throughout its delivery to Guam, the absence of the green light does not necessarily indicate that acceptable temperatures were not maintained.
Hopefully by tomorrow, we'll know more on, what the disposition would be with that particular box and what we would need to do with it. But in the meantime, what we are doing is, we've recharged it with dry ice so that we can maintain those ultra low cold temperatures to ensure that it's viable. So that if the manufacturer determines that it's still, viable and in good condition to be able to use it, then, it maintains those temperatures.
Additionally, over the weekend, the FDA approved emergency use authorization for the Moderna vaccine. The EUA allows the Moderna vaccine to be distributed in the U.S. for use in individuals 18 years of age and older. Carrera cannot say when it will arrive on Guam. Meanwhile, the vaccine committee met today to discuss the next vaccination phase, Phase 1B, consisting of essential service workers. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Compacta Free Association migrants may soon be eligible for Medicaid coverage again for the first time since 1996. Congressman Michael St. Nicholas says if approved, it could mean millions of dollars in savings for the locally funded medically indigent program. COFA migrants turned to MIP after becoming ineligible for Medicaid, which is a medical assistance program for low-income families. In a news release, St. Nicholas said more updates will be forthcoming in the next 24 to 48 hours, including on relief and stimulus packages. Congress is trying to wrap up major outstanding issues before it can recess for the holidays. And Sunday morning, units from the Guam Fire Department responded to a house fire on Kalamasa Drive in the Machechi area in Dededo. Family members told KUAM it happened so fast. According to GFD spokesperson Kevin Riley, units from Dededo and Jigo responded as well as their EMS unit at around 7 o'clock yesterday morning. Riley says the fire was contained to one bedroom in the concrete home. Although the residents were able to evacuate safely, 2 of the family pets passed away in the fire. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
5 breadsticks for my triple treat, 3 layers deep, 10 cinnamon mini rolls to eat, and a pizza plus another pizza. The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19, we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years, Cannabis Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
and the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
We've made a lot of breakfasts, and along the way, we noticed something was missing. A warm cinnamon roll for breakfast, or with breakfast. A fluffy blueberry muffin from the drive-thru you're already driving through. A glazed apple fritter, which might find its way into your coffee. These are options every breakfast haver should have, and now they do. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It takes all of us to protect Guam. Join the Guam Visitors Bureau in our social media campaign series aimed to protect our island and each other in this COVID-19 era. Participate in the Protect Guam movement by wearing your mask, showcasing Guam's heroes, staying active, and downloading the Guam COVID Alert app. Post and share your content with us. Use the hashtag ProtectGuam, and you could win $100. It's that simple. Check out visitguam.com for details. Let's reclaim our lives, our economy, and our tourism industry.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. The head of a national animal rights organization has come out strongly against a bid to officially recognize cockfighting as a cultural practice under Guam law. Ironically, the language is included in an amendment by Senator Jose Turlahi to an animal rights protection bill. Nestor Cancho has more.
In what many might view as an obvious contradiction, Senator Pito's provision to preserve cockfighting was tacked on without objection to Senator Sabina Perez's bill to stiffen civil and criminal liabilities for violence against animals. Officially called the Protecting Animal Welfare and Safety, or PAWS Act, Perez's bill was sparked in part by public outrage over a brutal attack on a dog named Pugua. A federal law that took effect a year ago clarified that cockfighting is now banned in all states and territories. Speaking today on The Link, Animal Wellness Action President Wayne Pacelli.
I think this is just posturing by the senator. Guam, the reason that this was controversial is that the federal government was superseding the Guam legislature's decision-making on this issue. And I might say that we did a poll to show that Guamanians favor our position overwhelmingly.
But Senator Pito argues that it should be recognized as part of the culture that's been practiced for hundreds of years since Spanish rule. Pacelli says cockfighting has been around since the Roman Empire, but that doesn't make it right.
It's a matter of animal cruelty. I mean, the practice of dogfighting is also invoked as a cultural right by people. And the United States has looked at this issue. There is state authority to ban it. There is territorial authority to ban it. And there is federal authority to ban it. Every single court case that has been decided on this issue has gone in favor of the government's authority to stop cockfighting.
But despite the Peto amendment, which Pacelli calls a sideshow, he still hopes the Paris bill becomes law.
Our poll that showed 3/4 of Guamanians with a strong feeling against cockfighting, 95% of Guamanians wanted to strengthen the anti-cruelty law on the island. 95%. This is a consensus position, and I hope that that law passes very soon and that Governor Guerrero signs it, because it's long overdue on Guam.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Senators did discuss the pause bill, which during session late this afternoon, along with 2 other measures. They include another bill by Senator Paris to adopt the 2017 Guam Tropical Energy Code, which she says is better aligned with our warmer climate than previous building codes. Also moved to the voting file was a measure by Senator Jim Moylan to fund the repair and rehabilitation of the Southern High School auditorium. Lawmakers recessed until Wednesday, when they will vote on these and several other bills. It will likely be the final session for the 35th Guam legislature. The new body is scheduled to be sworn into office on January 4th, 2021. A performance audit on procurement training by the Office of Public Accountability shows some mixed compliance by GovGuam departments. Agency heads and procurement staff are supposed to complete a 4-module program administered by GCC on how to properly procure goods and services for their departments. An OPA audit released today shows many of them have yet to do so.
It's no secret that GovGuam has had more than its fair share of procurement protests and challenges over the years, and the GCC training is meant to curb those cases. The OPA has released a follow-up to an initial report in April 2019 to see who has complied a year and a half later, as of September 2020. It found that an additional 201 GovGuam employees completed Module 1, but only 31 have obtained Module 2, 27 for Module 3, and 31 for Module 4. Overall, 575 have completed Module 1, 228 for Module 2, 201 for Module 3, and 204 for Module 4. Just 17 of the 56 newly appointed directors and administrators obtained Module 1 certification, and only GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez has received certification in all 4 modules. The OPA says no agency head may act as the responsible head of procurement without receiving training in Module 3 or 4. However, the OPA also points out that most line agencies' procurement goes through the General Services Agency. Still, the OPA recommends that all line and autonomous agency heads and their teams get the required training and certification. In a statement, Public Auditor B.J. Cruz said, it, quote, continues to be important in ensuring employees are knowledgeable of the Guam procurement law to effectively and efficiently perform the agency procurement functions. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The Guam Cannabis Control Board met this afternoon, and the burning topic, marijuana in Tuman. Peter Santos reports.
The Guam Cannabis Control Board met today to get into the weeds of their proposed rules and regulations. Of the topics discussed, one in particular has been a point of controversy for both the board and for some in the community. The thought of the sale and use of marijuana in Tuman has drawn out tourism business veterans in opposition. But CCB board member Adrian Cruz says it would have been nice to hear the opposition a little earlier.
You know, we've been 18 months on this. This is not new. I really wish that GVB or whoever would have been a little more involved or voiced a little more when we were even talking about these particular things way in the past.
Board member Nico Fujikawa sought to clear up an issue many in the tourism industry have been worried about, the idea of tourist families being exposed to marijuana by way of on-site consumption permits. But Cruz says the idea just isn't feasible.
If it's a cannabis restaurant and they're a licensed cannabis facility, you can't have a family that goes there, because by definition, the only people that can go into a cannabis facility, as per our rules, is people over the age of 21.
Should be 21.
That's right. So
right.
you're not going to be able to have Sunday brunch at the pot restaurant. I mean, that's not reality according to our own rules.
Cruz says the dilemma is all too familiar.
The thing that upsets me the most is I remember a conversation like this. I remember GVB saying something like this when it was the Natasha Protection Act. I remember them saying that, if you ban smoking in the restaurants, the tourists aren't going to come because Japanese like to smoke when they eat, and they like to smoke when they go out to bars, and it's just going to be so terrible. Gloom and doom, gloom and doom.
The current proposed rules prohibit the operation of a cannabis-related facility within 1,000 feet of a public park or school, amongst others. And with 2 large beach parks in Tumon, it turns out there's just a few pockets where businesses could be set up. And as far as the overall image of Guam to the tourist markets,
the market already tells us when Koreans come to Guam, they don't want to stay in the hotel. Because they go stay in the Airbnb, and they don't go on the Japanese official tour routes where they're only stopping at certain places. That's the way our market is trending. And so this idea that somehow that the Japanese want to come here for a Japan flavored Guam that's thinking from 1970. That's just not holding water anymore.
the Cannabis Control Board recessed and will reconvene December 30th at 1 p.m. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Peter Santos.
And now time for our weekly Fanatic Zoom Zone segment where Dave Delgado catches up with local NFL fans about their love for the game and predictions for the season.
Welcome to this week's Fanatic Zoom Zone. Dave Delgado here with Vince Flores, repping the Falcons. Tell us when the love for your team first started.
It started back in 2001 when Michael Vick got drafted. He was a lefty. I was a lefty. I was just starting football. Kind of related to that, and that's just where it stayed, man. Became a Falcon fan all the way.
Game day traditions?
Every day, I just I gotta wake up, make my breakfast, rock on the jerseys. Every day, rise up.
And which team do you look forward to facing every season?
Every season, it's the Saints. Whenever they play, records don't matter. It's always a great game. But, you know, I hate them Patriots, though.
And top two all-time favorite players?
My number one is Deion Sanders. He became my favorite when I found out he played for the Falcons. When I started football, I played cornerback. I tried to model my game after him. And number two is Julio Jones.
Coming up, we kick off Breeze Holiday Baking Club. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
There are more individuals who are suffering in silence. And when they reach out to us, we want to get them the services and connect them to the resources. It takes a village to raise a child, and Ali can't do this alone.
The hotline number at the women's shelter is 648-HOPE. You know, we need to remind everybody that there is hope for a better tomorrow.
Time doesn't stop, and neither should you or your business. Introducing Stroll Courier. Now you can have all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide without leaving the comfort of your home or office. Delivery has never been easier with our pre-booking and express same-day delivery options. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Stroll Courier. Book, track, deliver.
The only way you beat 6-month-aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The Toasted Cheddar Chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Since this is Christmas week, we've got a special series for you leading up to Santa's arrival. Every day, Sabrina Salas-Mantanani invites one of her friends to show off their serious kitchen skills to be part of Bree's Holiday Baking Club. And up first, award-winning filmmaker and former Miss Guam Earth, Sarah Phyllis Camacho, shows you how to make a mouth-watering dish that's sure to become an instant holiday tradition. Hasselback butternut squash.
Happy day and welcome to Sasa's Kitchen. Today we're going to be baking, and I don't do a lot of baking in this kitchen, so I invited my sister friend who's an incredible baker, and she's going to be helping us learn how to make some Hasselback butternut squash. It's a really good, tasty, delicious, super flavorful meal to serve at your family Christmas gatherings, and it's also really healthy. Super cheap also. And with us today we have our trusty videographer, Mr. Frank the Crank Camacho.
Yes.
And our judges. Our grips over here we have Marcella. And Rocky. So what do we do first?
First, we will peel the squash. It's kind of big. You want to get one that is enough to feed however many people. And then we'll chop it in half, de-seed it, and put it on the tray.
Okay.
You can use a machete too if you like. You can also microwave your squash to make it easier. I didn't tell Sarah that though. Teamwork makes the dream work. There we go. Now we're going to de-seed it and then we'll peel the outside. Butternut squash is surprisingly easy to work with, even though it is really hard to cut into. And then the nice part is when you cook it, just so flavorful, and it's almost like meat if you're looking for a meat substitute. We're going to be glazing this squash, so even if you do have a little bit of like skin stuff on it, that's okay, because it's going to all get cooked really yummy in the oven.
Hey, someone's vomiting.
No.
Before you put it in the oven, you're supposed to glaze it for flavor, and what that glaze consists of is 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of honey or maple syrup, but this is maple syrup.
I'm using maple.
2 minced garlic cloves, and some chili peppers that I got from Pizza Hut, and some fresh thyme.
There's so about like 2 or 3 sprigs. The little leaves are called.
Yeah, we're only going to glaze half of the mixture. So you can use a glazing brush, or you can get one of these at Home Depot.
A paintbrush.
And it will do the job perfectly.
That's great.
Right?
Yep, that's good.
Perfect. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes, and it's time to pull out the butternut squash to reglaze and cut. Slice
and then reglaze, yeah. While Sarah's doing that, I have a joke for you guys. Ready? Why do Chamorro men have such broad shoulders and such flat foreheads? Do you know why? No. Why? Because when you ask them something, they go, yeah, I don't know. And when you tell them, they go, oh, I knew that. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one, you guys. Okay, so there's a trick here to cutting the squash, because what you want to do is cut it not all the way through, okay? So careful because it's really hot, okay guys? And then what we're going to use is our 2 paint brushes here, glazing brushes like this. It leaves you like a ½ inch of space at the bottom. Oh, bless you. Don't worry, it didn't get in the glaze.
And the trick is to make it very thin.
Yeah, you want it really thin. Careful. So this time you want to try to get in between, which might be a little bit tricky, but that's okay. If it just goes on top, that's okay.
It'll get in there.
It'll get in there. It'll drip on it.
Wow, that smells so good. Okay, make sure the kids are next to the oven.
That's right. No kids in the oven.
You can't smell this, but this smells amazing.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
Marcella
my
is so
gosh.
jealous that she wants to come here.
One.
Is that oh my god, that's so good.
Okay, baby, ready for this?
Good job. He looks like he's gonna spit it out.
It's easy, it's fast, it's affordable, it's healthy. Make you feel and look good, guilt-free.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Mom.
Christmas, and thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Adios.
All right, that looks delicious. And we return your birthday shout-outs.
We rely on each other to be there in the good and bad times.
Parents rely on me for making sure that their kids are always in the best of their health.
The community relies on me when emergencies strike.
My students rely on me to move them higher in what they're learning.
Our kids rely on us to provide them with all the support they need.
For keeping us in touch every day,
For every call and schedule I receive, and for every emergency I respond to.
And with my need to respond in the timeliest manner,
to keep my knowledge updated.
For keeping us connected every day, we only rely on Docomo Pacific.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright.
100% beef and hearty chili. Try my chili cheeseburger combo. It's pretty delicious.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
And before we close out the news tonight, the latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
4 more days until Christmas, my friends, so happy birthday on December 21 to Drayden. Happy birthday number 8 to our grandson. May your day be wonderful like you, and may your future have promise of brighter and safer days. We love and miss you from Grandma Ree and family on Guam, in Texas, in California, and Washington State. Also, happy birthday to Connor Jacob Borja Tahazi. Happy birthday to my grandson, coming from Papa Borja. And belated birthday wishes tonight to Grayson Kingston Nicholas, born on the 19th. To our precious baby, happy birthday number 4. Hope you had an awesome day at your DMV birthday celebrations. God bless you and protect you always, our king. We love you, say Grammy, Papa Joe, Mama D, Papa Pete, and the family. Also, happy birthday from that extensive and exclusive group to Isaiah Tremaine McGill, born on the 19th. Happiest blessed 22nd birthday to our handsome grandson. Celebrate with a blast from your family in Texas. Surprise, surprise! God bless you and protect you always. Again, from Grammy, Papa Joe, and the family. And happy day to Zion J. Villanueva, who celebrates birthday number 9 this year. Zion J was also born on December 19th. Happy birthday, son. We love and wish you many more birthdays to come. Awesome group of Guamanians, and we wish each and every one of them the happiest and safest birthday ever.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and happy holidays.